What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything you need to know about and what's happening here in our country on a daily basis. We got big news here for you guys in this video, including new $1,500 stimulus checks and $900 stimulus checks going out here, and maybe $1 billion going out to millions of people here as well. So we're going to jump right in here. We got a lot to talk about here in this video. So thank you so much. If you appreciate these videos, don't forget to hit the like button for us here as well. And remember that new videos come out here on our YouTube channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to subscribe down below. Just click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. I'm keeping you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. The fight to fix Social Security and everything Congress is doing. It's absolutely crazy here in 2023. All right, so let's jump right in. I got multiple things here for you. If you've been watching my channel, you know that in 2022, there was about 35 states that sent out inflation relief checks, property tax relief checks, state stimulus checks, various different things like that. And there's more going on in 2023 right now. Take a look at this. I got multiple different ones here for you. You're going to want to watch this video all the way to the end. Here we go. Okay, first up, the state of Michigan. Michigan legislature approves $1 billion in tax relief. GOP Republicans decries fairness. But here's the details on this. Like I said, I got multiple states here for you guys. So here's the first one. Michigan legislature approved proposals Thursday that would provide about $1 billion in tax cuts, advancing top priorities of Gretchen Whitmer's less than 4 weeks after Democrats took full control of the legislature. Wow. So Michigan has spoken, and I guess they voted the Republicans out, and here's what's happening. Senators voted 27-11 to expand the state's earned income tax credit. That's also known as the adult tax credit for low-income earners, which will save low-income workers, there you go, adults, about $442 million a year on their tax bills. Then, so that's almost $500 million. Okay, so that's a lot of money. Then senators voted 23-15 to change how the state's taxes retirement income. So seniors. Okay, also note here that sometimes if you don't file taxes, you might want to get things like the earned income tax credit. Again, check into this stuff because, or talk to somebody at H&R Block, or somebody like that, because sometimes there's tax credits that you might be missing out on. If you don't file. Okay, again, I don't know everybody's tax situation, but sometimes there are some things that you actually you might be missing out on refunds. So then senators voted to 23-15 to change how the state taxes retirement income, bringing back an exemption for public pensions and dropping state revenues by about $500 million annually. Both bills, which still have to go to the state house, aim to undo policies that were signed into law by former Governor Rick Snyder, a Republican, a decade ago, when he and Republican lawmakers overhauled the state tax system. The House passed its own retirement repeal and earned income tax increase, with some slight differences from the Senate. The House retirement tax repeal would phase in over 4 years, and its earned income tax increase was amended to match the Senate's rate of 30%. The Democrats said the time is now to provide our seniors with the extra money that they need. The time is now to restore the promise that we have made to seniors across this state. They said that the retirement tax repeal bill helps to right a wrong inflicted on seniors more than a decade ago. Quote, these people, these retirees have been met with unexpected burdens and unexpected expenses, with inflation running high. Every penny counts. Under Michigan's earned income tax credit, this would also allow low to moderate incomes, according to the IRS, to credit 6% of their federal earned income tax credit against their state income tax to 30% as well. This would amount to an average financial benefit of what looks like an extra $600 per family. In 2011's, Republicans and Snyder dropped this match from 20% to 6% as part of a larger tax overhaul or cut. Next up, in Maine, the first round of $450 relief checks per person or $900 per family are going out in Maine this week. An update now on when Mainers can expect to see those $450 Maine winter energy relief payments in their mailboxes. The first round of payments is going out this week. The goal is to mail out 200,000 checks per week until all of the payments are processed. And I believe they've started to go out here already. And they hope to get all of the payments to 870,000 eligible Mainers out before the end of March. So it might take a little bit of while, but they're going out here. And this is basically $450 per person to help with winter energy costs in the state of Maine. So basically, truly like a state stimulus check just to help with energy costs. So good for the state of Maine. They've had multiple state stimulus checks like this. Yeah. Next up, New York announced something like this as well. Governor Kathy Hochul in New York announced about 2/3 of $1 billion, 672 million, for electric and gas utility bill relief for New Yorkers. So we're seeing literally hundreds of millions or billions of dollars for multiple different states here already in 2023. This is a one-time bill credit available to help more than 500,000 New Yorkers pay utility bills. They're calling it the largest utility customer finance assistance program in state history. Yeah, Governor Kathy Hochul announced that 478,000 residential customers and 56,000 small businesses in New York State will receive assistance totaling $670 million to pay off unaffordable past due utility bills. And I believe I've seen a recent article that said almost 1 in 5 Americans in the whole country, not just New York State, are behind in utility bills with the high cost of electricity and heating. It's a lot of people nowadays. So it's good to see more and more states doing this here. Today's announcement is the largest utility customer financial assistance program in New York State history and follows a series of policies announced last week to address energy affordability and emissions reduction as a part of Governor Hochul's State of the State address, saying every New Yorker deserves affordable energy, yet too many New Yorkers are at the risk of having their lights turned off due to financial problems caused by the pandemic, Governor Hochul said. Quote, earlier this month, I laid out extensive proposals to make energy more affordable in my State of the State address. And with this historic electric and gas utility relief, we're achieving another major milestone to help New Yorkers stay warm during the cold winter months. This type of debt forgiveness program, approved today by the New York State Public Service Commission, will provide financial relief to customers and help avoid huge statewide termination of services, making utility bills more affordable for all households and small businesses. So, yeah, you thought the student loan debt forgiveness was the only type of debt forgiveness. Yeah, it's not the case. We're seeing this happen in multiple states, actually. And I'll keep you up to date here as I see more and more of this happening. I'm your source for all this information. And as you can see here, Lots of this, multiple different states here in 2023, and it's only January. Only January. Well, maybe you're watching this in February, maybe. But yeah, we're already seeing a lot of different states do stuff like this. Yeah. Then here, one more for you. Economic relief payments for New Mexicans introduced in the legislature. Take a look at this. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has announced legislation has been filed to help provide economic relief checks to New Mexicans. So they have actually filed this to provide economic relief to New Mexicans. According to the governor's office, Senate Bill 10 has been filed and sponsored by Senator Benny Shendo. The bill would provide $1 billion in economic relief to New Mexico in the form of $750 stimulus checks. Where did I go here? $750 stimulus checks for singles and $1,500 for married couples. Yeah, so there you go. You can see it right there in black and white. $750 for singles and $1,500 for married couples. Yes, that is really, really awesome. You can see that here for New Mexico. They said, quote here, as prices remain high across the country, we can and we should take action to help more New Mexicans afford the things they need right now, Governor Grisham says. As our state continues to see the results of our continued and targeted investments that have resulted in an unprecedented financial windfall, I look forward to working with the legislature to put money back in the pockets of New Mexico families. If the bill is approved by the legislature, the money would be distributed by the Taxation and Revenue Department this summer. Now, I do want to note that New Mexico also had stimulus checks last year, and they were one of the states that gave stimulus checks to non filers as well. So remember that some states, each state does it differently. Some states do it where they do it to tax filers because a lot of states do it that way because they need to know how much money you make. They need to know if you make below the income thresholds. And one of the main ways to do that is they need to know what your income is. If they don't know what your income is, it's hard to do that without you being a tax filer. So just kind of think that through. That's how they know. The other thing is that some of these have these utility programs, like the state of Maine. We've seen other states do this as well, and then some states have programs for non-filers as well. Remember, we just had Georgia do that $300 program that went out on debit cards for people on SNAP and TANF and stuff like that. Some people had trouble kind of getting them to go through and stuff, but eventually people figured it out and they got it to go through. But New Mexico, which had stimulus checks last year as well, had a program for non-filers as well. Take a look. Yeah, you can see here last year with New Mexico's programs for stimulus checks, which I think were $1,000 for married couples. The state also set aside $20 million for economic relief payments for residents who don't file tax returns. The money was available on a first come, first served basis to low income households who weren't required to file. Those payments were $1,000 for married couples, and single individuals were $500 for singles individuals without dependents. That's one of the creative solutions New Mexico undertook to make sure relief got to folks who need it the most. So, again, a lot of states did programs like this as well. So, maybe New Mexico will do this again. We don't know the details of all this yet, but I will keep you up to date here on all these different states and more as this information comes out here on our YouTube channel here. So make sure you're subscribed down below. Click the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live with new videos. That comes out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for liking and sharing these videos. There's a share button down below, and you can share these videos on social media or with anybody that needs to know this. And you can invite them, to join our family here on YouTube. And I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. I just did a really big video here on Social Security that you can watch next right here. Really big information on that with big news from Joe Manchin and Kevin McCarthy as well. Or you can click here to see about $2,000 stimulus checks, which were just announced here as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.